Chapter 8, Section 3, Multiplying Binomials, Part 2. In the last lesson, we learned how to multiply two binomials using the distributive property and by using a table. Today, we will talk about the final way to multiply two binomials. We are also going to talk about how to multiply a trinomial and a binomial. The FOIL method. FOIL is used as an acronym to tell you which terms of two binomials to multiply. Another common acronym would be PEMDAS, the order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So FOIL is going to be kind of like, FOIL is going to tell us how to multiply two binomials, kind of like the PEMDAS helps us to use the order of operations. So FOIL, F is going to stand for multiply the first terms of each binomial. O stands for multiplying the outer terms of each binomial. By outer would mean the first term of your first binomial and your last term of your second binomial. So they're going to be your two terms that are at the very beginning of your multiplication problem and then at the very end of your multiplication problem. Inner would be to multiply. I means to multiply the inner terms of each binomial, and that's going to mean your last term of your first binomial and your first term of your second binomial. They're going to be kind of in the middle. They're going to be in different binomials, but they're going to be the ones that are right next to each other, with the exception of the parentheses would be separating them. And then L stands for multiplying the last terms of each binomial. I'm going to do several methods of this, but I was just trying to explain what the first, outer, inner, and last meant. So FOIL is going to help us and it's kind of a faster way. Again, just like with the table and the distributive property, you're going to get the same answer as you would with the table and the distributive property, but the FOIL method is for some people it's much faster and much easier to use. Quite frankly, I, as the teacher, am not going to care which method you choose to use. If you are more comfortable with the table method, then go for it. But the FOIL method is going to be, you're going to hear it referred to a lot in classes that you're going to take further down the road, and you do need to know what it is and kind of how to use it. So this example says, what is the simplified form of x plus 4 and then times 2x minus 1? I'm just going to rewrite this multiplication problem, the two binomials. I'm going to use the FOIL method. F means I need to multiply the first terms of each binomial first. So in this case, my first terms would be x and 2x. So I need to multiply x times 2x is 2x squared. My outer terms, in this case, it's going to be x and negative 1. Notice that's my very, very first term and my very, very last term of the two binomials that I'm multiplying. So my outer terms would be x times negative 1, which is a negative 1x or just negative x. My inner terms in this case would be 4 and 2x. 4 times 2x is a positive 8x. Make sure you bring down your addition sign since it's positive. And then my last terms in each binomial would be 4 times negative 1, which is negative 4. Just like with the table method and with the distributive property, now I need to combine my like terms if I have any. And in this case, I do have two like terms. I have negative x plus 8x. Negative 1x plus 8x would give you a positive 7x. So my final answer is 2x squared plus 7x minus 4. Just like in the last lesson when you were using a table and the distributive property, your answer needs to be in standard form. This answer is in standard form. Just double check and make sure when you get your final answer that you are in standard form. The next example says, what is the simplified form of 3x plus 1 times 4x minus 2? Going to go ahead and rewrite it, and again I'm going to use the FOIL method. F stands for first. In this case, our first terms are 3x and 4x. 3x times 4x is a 12x squared. My outer terms, in this case, are going to be 3x times a negative 2x. 3x times negative 2x is a negative 6x. My inner terms are 1 times 4x. 1 times 4x is a positive 4x. And then my last terms are 1 and negative 2. So 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Again, I do have like terms here. I have a negative 6x plus 4x. Negative 6x plus 4x, watch out for your integers, is going to be a negative 2x. So my final answer would be 12x squared minus 2x minus 2. This next example, I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and pause and make sure and try this one out before I do it on the video. So pause this video, try this one for yourself, and then you can click play and it'll be worked out for you. But I'm going to rewrite 7x plus 1 and x minus 4. To multiply my first terms, I would have 7x times x, which is 7x squared. My outer terms would be 7x and negative 4. 7x times negative 4 is a negative 28x. My inner terms would be 1x, 1 times x, which is x. And then my last terms would be 1 times negative 4, which is negative 4. Go ahead and combine your like terms. In this case, I have negative 28x plus a positive 1x, which will give me a negative 27x, which means my final answer is 7x squared minus 27x minus 4. To multiply a trinomial by a binomial, I am going to say to use a table. There are other ways that you can do it, but I think the most organized, least confusing way to do it is to just make a table, which remember we talked about yesterday. In this case, though, my table is going to be 3 by 2 because my trinomial is going to have 3 terms. In this case, I'm asked to multiply the trinomial 2x squared minus 5x plus 4 times the binomial x plus 2. You could also have your table with 2 columns and 3 rows. That would be the same thing, but in this case, I have my 3 columns and 2 rows. I'm going to break up my trinomial on the top, so I'm going to have 2x squared for the first column, negative 5x in the second column, and then a positive 4 in the third column. And then I also need to break up into terms my binomial x plus 3. So for the first row, I'm going to have x, and for my second row, I'm going to be multiplying by 3. Go ahead and multiply. Just like you did in the other tables, this time you're just going to have more multiplication to do, which is no big deal. 2x squared times x. Be careful, remember multiplying two powers with the same base, you add the exponents, which would be 2x cubed. X times a negative 5x would be negative 5x squared, and then x times 4 would be 4x. 3 times 2x squared is 6x squared. 3 times negative 5x is negative 15x. And then 3 times 4 is 12. I need to go ahead and I need to combine my like terms. 2x cubed does not have another like term. There is no other term with x cubed in it. I have a 6x squared and a negative 5x squared. 6x squared minus 5x squared would leave you with 1x squared. And then I also have like terms negative 15 and 4. Negative 15x and 4x. Negative 15x plus 4x would give you negative 9x. So when I combine these all together, I would have a 2x cubed plus x squared minus 11x plus 12. Today's assignment is on page 519, numbers 5 through 13, 17 through 19, and 24 through 26.